Jailbreak shows up when they just want to hold us, right? So a lot of times when they just want to pin us and hold us here because they're up on points or whatever and they're just trying to keep control, they're going to be just like this. He's got the arm under the head, but he's not cross-facing me because his elbow's down here at my hip, right? He can't cross-face me and block my hip at the same time. Like it doesnn't work real well.
That would be sweet,
right? Because he's got to bring his head up closer to his hand to get the pressure to drive my face across. And when he does that, he takes the pressure off this, right? So to keep heavy pressure in his elbow so I can't shrimp out, he's got to give up some pressure here, which allows me to turn, right? I can't turn all the way because he's heavy on this elbow, right? So I can't get all the way out to get to my shrimp escape, right? So I'm just gonna make enough space to get my elbow in, and I'm just gonna kind of keep bumping and working and put my arm through. Now I just feed my foot to my hand. And I'm gonna take my foot and I'm gonna put it right inside his leg, right? Now that this is here, now I can power shrimp because I have a wedge to keep him in place, and now my hips can overpower his elbow. So my hand comes to the top of his head, and I power shrimp. And now this knee comes underneath, and I'm back to butterfly guard. Sit him up, and I've got my overhook, underhook, and we're in cocoon. Now it's whatever game you like to play from cocoon. I'm a rubber guard guy from cocoon, so I'm going right to my rubber guard game. Right? And you can play whatever sequence from there. Right? So, but again, so we're here, we're in this scenario. He's blocking my hip, he's just pinning me down. I'm having a hard time moving, getting anything going, right? You know, so I'm just gonna work. I just kind of side bend a little bit and just kind of shimmy to get my elbow in, all right? Get a little bit of space, get my hand all the way through. Now I grab my foot, bring my foot in. If you're really flexible, you don't even have to use this hand. You can just stick your foot in. I'm not quite there, all right? It's easier this way, and I can feed my foot right into that space. All right, now that I'm here, I'm gonna push the top of his head, frame against his hip with this arm, and I'm gonna power shrimp out into his elbow to make this turn. Now this knee can slide right underneath. We sit up right into cocoon. All right, whatever your game is here. Right? Let's do it. 3, 2, 1. We're starting the same way. He brings this across. So the only thing I'm doing different is instead of just putting this here and coming under for the ghost, I'm just reaching up and grabbing my leg. Right? So now that locks his arm there so he can't bring it back across. Right? So now when I ghost the stick, he can't get it across. And look, see this space right here? All I'm gonna do is keep walking and he's gonna fall into it. He falls right into the space, making this really tight. And then I just look to grab his legs and I just keep coming around. Right? I'm not squeezing at all. I'm just like this and I walk around and I catch and I hip in. I'm not even squeezing it. Right? If he hasn't tapped at that point, I'll start squeezing. But usually it's already super tight and you don't even have to squeeze, right? And that's what I want to avoid, having to use a lot of arms to finish. So I want to use my body and my legs to get in position to make the choke easier. All right? Let's try it. 3, 2, 1. If I get this through.
Yeah, right? Is that where, because that's
could,
where I'm
but
messing
see,
up.
this is where you're having a problem, right?
Right, this is
because right now, if I try to go, it's hard for me to get your elbow out, because if you got your weight in that right elbow,
Right.
like I can't, and then now you just go to north-south.
Right.
Right? So I need you to get your weight out of that elbow. So, you know, so this is where, when I start feeding this and you start going to north-south, you take your weight out.
Right. Okay.
And now I can hit the ghost escape. Right? You know, so that's the thing. Until you make that move, I'm going jailbreak.
Right.
Right? I'm looking for this. But if as I'm grabbing my foot, you start to make that shift, I make the shift. Right? And it's, the trigger is I feel that that crossface come out, right? Because he's not going to go to north-south with the crossface. He's going to do that, right?
Yeah, I don't think I could go. That would seem weird to try to.
Right, you don't have it.
I want it first.
Well, of course, and that's what everybody's going to do.
Right.
So when I get here and you do that, I just switch. Right? You know, so we're just playing off of that scenario. So we've got that option, right? Then I've got the option if I reach through and he starts sitting to twister side because he feels this, right? And we're here now, right? So because we're here and I've got both arms in front, I can still kind of ghost escape him, right? But I'm not going to end up with a Darce here, right? So, I mean, there's different options he can do. He can sit to judo side and crush that frame, right? And now this is here, you know. So
I'm trying to pin and.
you can. Now my goal is to get this knee in, right? So I'm going to bring this through to this shoulder. This is already here, so I use that as a frame to bring my knee in.
And that would make me instantly want to come
And that
this
makes
way.
you go that way. Right, I'm just using whatever I've got. You know, I've already got this frame in place, right? So when you sit to judo side, instead of going, oh man, he just killed my frame. No, it's still there, right? Now it becomes, instead of like a really good frame, it's more of a wedge. It's just kind of keeping his hips there so he can't follow me when I scoot away, right?
Right.
And it allows me to bring my knee in.
Because that would make the aggressor or the side to want to keep that pin.
Right.
Yeah, like
You want to
this
stay
kind
hip
of-
to hip.
Yeah.
So if that's not there, right, and I start trying to shrimp out, you just follow me. Right? And I put that in.
Right. It's gonna make me.
Right? You know, so this is the kind of the back and forth we're playing with off of this. I know these are a lot of options, right? So we'll go back and we'll just play the ghost first, right? So, you know, so again,
I'm trying to go north south.
yeah, so we're starting from that initial spot. He's blocking my hip with that elbow again. I can't, you know, so I start looking for my jailbreak. He reaches over the head. The moment he does this, my hand goes from this side to this side. That's all I'm changing. Now this hand connects to his hip. My legs swing out so I can come through. I wrap this up and I start walking towards him. It sits him on his hip. And this is a super tight Darce. Alright, so we're here. I reach through for that jailbreak, he reaches over. I just switch, connect. Come through, lock it up. It's gonna feel loose here, that's fine. All I need is the connection. It's gonna tighten up as I walk towards him. I'm not pulling him, I just walk my hips towards him and it sits him down. All right? Let's play with it.